The alternative to collapse is what? It's oh yeah, the only thing that needs to collapse. Oh, am I waiting? Are we waiting for the thing?
Yeah, we're not online yet. And now we're live.
We're live.
Welcome to the
Wow.
Hidden Treasures podcast.
Uh-huh.
Oh, hello, Wayne. Now here's another pirate from
All
the
right.
Pipidota.
And we wait for. Are we waiting? No, we're not waiting. We're launching straight into it because the only thing that needs to collapse is the House of Cards. We don't have to actually go through real collapse, as long as we can collapse the House of Cards, where the game is played, where the games are played.
Yeah.
All the crazy, shitty games. People who are much too busy and not focused at all. Like me right now. I have too many things going on at once.
I mean, it's like we need to manage to collapse their narrative because what they're doing right now is spell casting their own game world into existence and LARPing it, faking it till they make it. But
We can do better. Because the thing is, yeah, it's that would be all right if the game world that is at stake right now isn't also the one that we have our physical bodily aliveness experience in. Like, and it would be great if we could continue to do that without further interference, and just get on with the game of being alive in a human body. It's so much fun. It's such a beautiful thing, but we make it horrible for each other for no reason. Well, there's one reason, and that reason is profit. And I really don't understand how it can be allowed to continue. But it's power games. Power games are what allow it to
hmm,
continue.
weird. I think I restacked that manifesto, but it doesn't show on my timeline.
Okay, can you look? I'm happy to find it and read it out. If you
Yeah, because I think that's a beautiful one to talk about, and it just like really touches on what you were just saying about embodiment and joy and enjoying life as a form of soft and playful rebellion.
what's it called? Is it the Soft Rebellion?
Yeah,
All right, I'm gonna look for this post.
I
Contemplation
t-
as rebellion, resistance
no,
and everyday rebellion.
I
The
don't
necess-
know.
the
I tagged
necess-
you.
Here's one: the necessity of self rebellion.
That too. That too.
Rebellion is a good search term, huh? Next post
You're
for
going
rebellion
down a rabbit hole there on Substack. There's so many
immediately.
posts on rebellion.
Yeah, the rebellion word as a Substack rabbit hole for sure. Rebellion.
Ahoy!
Here's one from a publication called Antidote to Magical Thinking. A post called "Rebellion for Freedom's Sake." Well, but the writer is Sirius White, and the first line is, "The name Lucifer is a whisper of defiance against the yoke of imposed order." So I don't know if I'm gonna. This is
No,
gonna be an
no.
interesting post either way.
Soft rebellion. It was soft rebellion. And it's weird because I think I restacked it now 2 times, but it doesn't show in my timeline, so it's
Uh huh.
apparently disappearing somehow.
Oh, it's getting. I mean, I'm not finding it when I look for it, so it sounds like it's
But
getting.
can you look in your notifications because I tagged you there? So we have 2 viewers. We have
Oh yeah,
Living Art School
I
that's been
don't
also
see.
engaging a lot.
So I
Hello.
don't see a note. I don't. I'm not getting it. I don't see the. I don't see the notification. Apparently, you're tagging me in a. Substack is suppressing this post. They don't want you to hear. They don't want you to hear about the soft rebellion. That's clear.
What the fuck? I mean,
Because
what
I
I don't.
don't see it. If you're saying I literally tagged you, it's like it's not showing up.
I tagged you. I restacked it 2 times, and then the second time I tagged you, and it's not in my timeline. Weird. Well, it was talking about soft rebellion, and it was resonating a lot with me what this person was talking about because Yeah, she was speaking also into this narrative of fear that wants to freeze your nervous system and get you exhausted, in the process of just like being enraged and alterated and in fear all the time. And if we just focus on being in our bodies, on building our networks of care, of dancing, of finding joy, of building like decentralized networks of resistance and slowing down and just like opting out and dropping out and building our own, that's the resistance. We don't need like the leader of a movement or coming into the masses, but just like spread like a mycelium of different cells that don't have a leader, that can be then, the head of, if the head of a movement gets decapitated, you can stop the movement. But if the movement is decentralized, like a fungal network of
Exactly.
resistant cells, you can't squash it because it respawns everywhere.
Exactly. Exactly. It's just it's an awareness that is rising up in people. It's not like it doesn't have to be like an agenda. I'm not like it's not like it even feels like I'm looking around myself. Like, am I like I know I'm not the only one in this game. Like it's not about me. I'm not even for myself. It might seem like being part of the of this uprising somehow is a big part of how I, in a way, give sense to my reality. But I'm not. I'm nobody in it. In whatever movement is happening itself. Like I'm just one more blip.
And that's the thing, right? Networked consciousness, but not necessarily through the machine, but through the fungal network.
Yeah, and I mean the social, like the technology is kind of like just uh like an approximation of that in like the crude, like, oh, it needs to be manifested somehow. Here's a Sometimes it's like a rough and rude and phony representation of it, and sometimes it's just like the closest thing we've got to it. Um,
We have a comment from Leaving Art School. Says, free yourself from the BS and their thoughts, and the natural world arises with solutions.
right.
Yeah.
That's funny. It's like one of the first things that set my on my path was like acid, of course, and it's like one of my first proper acid trips. I remember just learning about being outside, like that. The thing about BS is that it has an action radius. So BS is centralized. BS is a centralized thing and has an action radius that only gets a certain distance out from the core, because
Mm.
BS is clumping up around authority and power. It's like it's holding on to something. So once you, but and that's why the phrase is you have to be far out. You have to be far out enough that you get out of range of the BS, and then you're free.
Maybe, like drop into the edges to build some bridges and bring other people outside of the radio of the BS. And that could be the pirate mission as well, right? Jank people out of the radio by playing the edges and bringing them over into the outside the scope of the BS system.
Well, there's something about like finding your character. Somehow it just resonates with finding your backbone. Like often when we think of boundaries or um, yeah, of boundaries, we think of like what's out on the edge, what's external. But
Hmm.
really, imagine foam, right? Or imagine bone, or imagine coral. The boundary is what gives it structure internally. So the commonly held boundaries are the structure,
Hmm.
and this is yeah. There's a lightness in that. There's a capacity for harmony in structures that work that way. So we do have to cultivate healthy boundaries because that's what your backbone is made up of.
Hmm.
Your spine is made up of healthy boundaries.
That's all a super cool Circuit 2 topic. Also, Living Art School here was saying it's about allowing people to live authentically, and then the things will unfold, and then it's almost like performative living, which ties back to the whole LARPing thing we were talking about. And these three topics, so even adding a fourth one, Circuit 2 topics. So we have self-expression, authenticity, performative living, boundaries, and sovereignty, right? And it is about claiming that sovereignty to fully showing up as your weirdest self and self-expression that at the end makes you ungovernable by what you're trying to create of order.
Yeah, yeah. When you drop the BS, you find out that you were already always there underneath. Yeah, it's like I feel like learning who you are and discovering yourself is a lot about just dropping all the stuff that's not you, and
Zero Fox.
then you're like then you find yourself unburdened of the
Mm.
weight of putting up with bullshit, literally keeping up the bullshit, and then you're like okay, and then you find out that in some ways you're really strong, and you find out in some other ways you've kind of let yourself go, and that's where you're like okay, how do I rebalance this now that I have the priority for me to just show up fully as me without being burdened by any of the bullshit.
What do you mean with let yourself go?
Let yourself go. Yeah, but it's like not not exercise, like skipping leg day, basically. For me, that's how it manifests. Like, yeah, the most
Uh,
obvious way to look at it.
no, but I think I've seen a couple of posts around Substack that are speaking into that as well. That we need to the empowerment that need right now, of course, is like getting out of the fear loops, right? Not getting caught in fear or rage loops, and then really, yeah, claiming that the boundaries within ourselves and that self-expression and that sovereignty to then actually like keep moving and build the networks and build a future we see still as possible,
Yeah,
because we're not going to be able to do that if our nervous system is fried in a
right.
fight flight response, or
If you don't
if
trust
it gets
yourself,
frozen, like when you
yeah,
freeze, you like inertia and you're not getting anywhere.
yeah. If you don't trust that you have your own back, then also it's hard to promise other people that you're going to show up for them. You know, and then it's also hard when somebody else says, "Oh, you know, yeah, yeah, no matter what comes, like we're in this fight together or whatever." And like you're like, "Oh, you want to be in this fight with me? That doesn't bode well if I don't trust myself." It's like
Are you
you know,
talking to yourself here, Captain Obvious, now?
I'm just speaking to what's coming up when we're like on the contours of this question. And like, how else have I let myself go? I had a dream last night where I was like somehow in the back of the. Well, I was living forwardly, and then there was also like the back of it, the rear of the vehicle, and at the rear end of the vehicle there was a little periscope, and I went to look out the little periscope on the rear end of the vehicle, and I look, and it's like a little icon of Jesus,
There you have him again. Jesus
and
saves.
yeah, Jesus say, but it's like. And I felt my interpretation was that I was calling myself out for only remembering to pray when I'm down.
Wow.
And now it's like Lent and it's Ramadan and I'm fasting self criticism and it's like coming up to the service. Like, oh, it's not just fasting one thing, it's also like devoting that time to prayer instead.
Mm.
What? Apparently, that's at least that's what I think it is. I'm just winging this based on what I've seen, but yeah.
I'm gonna put a pin into the land conversation because I
Yeah.
want to go into that. But we have another comment here from Living Art School, and since now our viewers are engaged, I want to come back to this again because that was what we have been asking for for people to join us live so that we can also have conversations and engage with other people. So Living Art School says IRT. I don't exactly know what that means. Letting yourself go. I think it's like just going out and showing up. We don't have to control everything. We don't need a super detailed plan. Like, I went out Saturday into the wilderness painting, and everything else around that just happened. Boom, let that sink in. Because that was just what you were talking about when I was talking about my trip to London, and you're like, don't buy a return ticket. Just go to fucking London, go to the breaking
Yeah,
convention, and then see what happens and when you return. And that sort of really speaks into that of just trusting also into that flow and to see what lives and universe wants to present you with, and maintaining that aliveness without the plan and remaining unpredictable.
right. It's like have you set up a date with destiny by leaving your option open.
Ego wants to control everything. Yes, that's another Circuit 2 topic. Ego likes to have control over things and plan and make it secure and safe. While yeah, that blocks some possibilities that only arise when you give yourself into uncertainty, and allow the field of possibilities to be emergent.
I just got a message. Speaking of that, yeah, I just got a message from my best friend that that I shared with him a dream I had where I saw him, and he told me that the dream said now the dream was prophetic because he just got a mail like from his yoga teacher as inviting him to come and do yoga teacher training, to go to Portugal and do yoga teacher training. And I dreamt I saw him teaching yoga outside for like a crowd of people.
Cool.
And he was like, he looked like a golden lion. He was glorious, you know.
So I'm gonna bring it back now to the Jesus and Lent.
Yeah, but I can bring this back at least into like everything is unfolding. Like it's like the spiral of synchronicity is tightening. The
The
creation process is happening in a more like we're getting to that point. We're becoming creators, and it's like coming to terms with that. We're like letting that moment of creation make its way all the way home, all the
Mhm.
way into the palm of your hand, like where you can have the seed of the new world just in your hand and watch it sprout in real time. That's what it's going to be. But in order to do that, we have a lot of BS to unburden ourselves of. We have a lot of legacy
Mm.
programming that is literally like a Gordian knot. There's no point to like, in a way, Alexander the Great time. Like, do we unravel it all, or we just uh,
How do we do that part? Because I know how I'm working on the unraveling, and
yeah,
there's like trip by trip on my fucking own ship, the Pipilota, which is a journey about undoing the programming and doing some new programming and fucking around and finding out.
yeah.
But you're proposing a more radical alternative, and what would your way
I
of
think it'll be
doing
end
that
to
be?
end somehow. It'll be from
Huh?
the inside out, and it will be end to end. Yeah. But what
Or
can
do you
be,
think that
what we can, what can evolve, what can lengthen and hold and yield and stretch and bend and flow will, and what can't won't.
what can't, won't?
Yeah. Or will they take more time and softening and warmth and presence and melting and solution and acid and yoga and massaging and yeah. So on an individual level, for sure, you want everything untangled. Every individual that you can untangle and every fiber in yourself that you can untangle is excellent.
It's part
But
of the soft revolution, soft rebellion. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And that's what I was at. Like, you need to start with yourself and help other individuals to do that liberation work as well.
yeah, but there
And
is a
that's what
gap.
I've been doing the last few years, right? But
Yeah, but part of it,
still, I feel a bit torn now with these two hats I'm playing with, because this is a work I actually very much enjoy, and especially the one-on-one work, helping individuals uncrack from that programming and that conditioning, and gaining new levels of unraveling themselves, is really satisfactory for me, and I love it.
I've
um
seen, I bear witness to this. Yeah, and I'm happy to send more people your way when they happen to be in the deep when they're when they went in at the deep end or yeah, unraveling somewhere or in Berlin for sure.
mm. And I will keep doing that as well, but on the other side, I also feel right now, with everything that's happening in the world, mold is like calling to step into a more active role of, like, organizing networks as well, and activating people
Hmm.
into um this kind of like collective soft mycelium rebellion under the paradigm of piracy, in the sense that, yeah, you just need to get out of the bullshit radius from their wannabe technocratic empire's waters, and focus on energy and doing our own, building
Yeah,
our own.
and even just like withdrawing your projections from there. It's like, okay, rather than have the boundary be the external tyranny, I'm gonna have the boundary be what standards do I set? Like what standards am I gonna hold myself to in the way that I give shape to community?
Hmm.
And it's like, and I realized today I had a good knowing what my test case would be. Like I want to be in a community where people where where parents feel free to go on vacation and leave their kids there. And like, yeah, where people are like, oh, I'm gonna go on vacation, I can't bring my pet or whatever, I can't bring my dog. You just leave the dog there, and like it'll be fine. The dog lives here as much as I do. It's like
Hmm.
where you just because that makes sense because everyone deserves a place where they feel safe. And it's not just conditional safety because um, because you have like parents there who are like sheltering you from the harshness of the world in constant conflagration. Like that's not the world that I want to be. It's time to really it's time to really show up for the world that wants to be.
So we have some two more comments from Living in Art School. Also, the other viewers here encourage you to comment and ask questions. We are very good at just like riffing
Right.
stream of consciousness, and we can't stop talking.
There's like a
So
pattern here of my
you can direct also what we put out by asking our questions, and
yeah.
giving
I'm just
comments.
getting this shit together. Like mycelium is like coprophilic. It's eating the BS. Like the BS itself is full of energy. It's full of nourishment for sure. As it's coming apart, you gotta like grab some of the pieces that you want to use to make your raft. For me, I've identified that I think some stuff is worth grabbing on.
Nice. Yeah, I like it. We can nourish ourselves of the decay. I think that's the thing, with chaos surfing, right? You kind of like either lose your shit because the world is going into chaos, and dissolving and crumbling, or
Or
you
let's
can go
all
like,
do shit.
wow, this is an opportunity, because
And
when
put shit
structures
together.
are dissolving, things get into flow, and then completely new opportunities can be manifested and created.
just like
And
that.
I think that we also need to resist to fall into the doomerism that the robots sometimes propose, because yeah, if you look at all the data and everything, you can go like, okay, Homo sapiens is doomed anyway, blah 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 blah, climate
That's not,
change and whatnot.
that's not that.
But if you factor in magic, you know,
And what
it's
must?
another game.
Have you seen the world we're in? Like, clearly, this is a more than meets the eye situation, right?
Right. And when things are into this complete dissolution process, yeah, then there can be like a
Reality itself becomes a quicksand out of which new formats can rise, simply prodded on to do so by the very wish.
timeline switching and stuff like that can happen in this vortices of chaos. So yeah, but we need to put it out there. We need to talk it, speak it into words, follow it with actions.
Right.
Write those manifestos, put them into action, and
Let
like
me
build the
manifesto that.
networks and let the
Great idea.
mycelium grow.
Here we get like, yeah, exactly. When the hurricane comes, everything gets messed. But if you if you're quick on your feet, you can change the course of what you thought up to that point was your sort of predictable steady life. And
It's navigating chaos, and you keep
it comes in
adaptable,
waves.
you keep flexible.
Yeah, so take advantage of the waves of neuroplasticity,
Hmm.
like travel.
Yeah, I'm going to breaking convention and decided, I'll do it. I'll just book a one-way flight, and then let's see how I get back and when I get back, and maybe I come back and pick you up and then hack, and then we go to Berlin
You can
together.
hitchhike to The Hague somehow. There's a ferry to Rotterdam from London. You'll figure it out. Yeah,
Okay, okay,
and yeah,
okay.
then you have time to figure out what happens or what could happen for you there before.
I'll set myself another quest for that trip. I will always only take with me my de-googled phone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very nice. Very good.
And leave the old paradigm phone behind.
Very good.
I still have some work to do to get this phone completely operational for such missions.
Nice. But I like that you're doing it. Like, yeah, it's fun. This is great.
It's fun. It's really fun, but it's also yeah, it's an exercise of neuroplasticity as well to debug from things that you have been completely hooked on for years, like Facebook and Amazon, and yeah, and Google. Like I relied on Google Maps a lot as well.
Yeah, we gotta. That's okay. That's okay. We all make mistakes, you know.
uh, okay, but let's bring it back to the land topic.
Sure.
Because you said you're going to do land paradigm and you're going to do uh, fasting of self criticism. I'm
Yes.
going to fast sugar and cannabis.
Oh, that's why I picked. That's why I picked Ramadan because it's a better paradigm for me because it's only from sun up to sundown.
No, I'm gonna sugar, cannabis, and I mean I'm still in my celibacy journey, so a lot of the usual dopamine supplies.
I have some dopamine supply coming in right now. There's pizza just delivered.
uh, And then also no more Facebook, no more Meta, no more Instagram. It's like I'm gonna go cold turkey from a lot of dopamine, like cheap dopamine supply systems for Catholic Lent. And I like to do Catholic Lent. I'm not a Catholic anymore. I'm a wild
Did you get?
Discordian chaos magician, but it's a paradigm I grew up in. Like my family is Catholic to the core.
Mhm.
Um, and
It's usually a good
I
idea when you see traditions converge on something. So for me, when the Jews and the Muslims agree that you shouldn't eat pork, I'm like, okay, they're probably onto something. It's like so maybe there is something about Lent and Ramadan. It's good to fast in the.
But Ramadan is not always coinciding with Lent. Ramadan moves along the calendar, right? But Lent is always this like 40 days and 40 nights when Jesus went to the desert and then he came back.
I wasn't really raised in it, so I don't know. I'm just
Um,
like picking up some things on the periphery, ancient rumors. You know.
I think the thing that I didn't know and I hadn't practiced that like that. Supposedly on Sundays you get to break your Lent, so it's actually 43 or 44 days, and then Sundays you can break the Lent. But I've been like doing like straight up, and I do think that it will be more effective to do actually like 40 days without cannabis and without sugar. And
Then to like break it up on Sundays.
yeah, no, that doesn't work because cannabis needs a time to like detox from your brain actually to see any effects. Um,
I wouldn't
and
know.
then the plan is to like go crazy on fucking exercise to actually like get a dopamine supply.
It works for many people that way. Yeah,
Yeah, I still have the mission this year to get like insanely fit.
good. That's very sane. It's the why. Yeah, I mean, while the mail order protein shake business paradigm is still in effect, who knows for how long that'll be?
It's time to bulk up on muscle, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows how much you need it later. We got some more comments from Cielo joined us now too as well. Hello, Cielo. Nice to have you back.
Yeah.
Living Art School says, like the hurricane destroyed everything around me, but I got a job, my son got a job, and we bought him a brand new car. Right. So destructive disorder wiping through your life, and then there's fertile ground for rebuild and something completely new to emerge.
Yeah, I mean I think everybody's feeling that a little bit. Like, all shit we just learn to live with, kind of just vanishing and then you disappear and discover, hey, look at this. This is a hurricane. Here's a hurricane that just like shifts up my paradigm.
No, this is a hurricane.
Oh yes, also no, yeah, two of them.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Hi.
Hello. How can I? Is it?
Do you want to?
If you're privatizing public space, or are you publicizing private space?
Both. Both.
Hi, I'm Campbell. I have pizza.
Hello. Dop-
Hello.
dopamine supply.
Yes, I have the pizza, so I'm gonna be eating. I don't know if you're hungry.
I'm hungry. Actually.
You're hungry?
Yes.
Okay. Did you eat yet?
Not properly, no.
Okay, we'll send you some pizza through the airwaves.
Yeah, unfortunately, my system does not process pizza very well.
I know, and you live like right above such a nice pizzeria. It's so good.
Okay.
So,
Like at your front door. It's like the.
they're so good, but I can't. I mean,
Yeah, it's just not. Yeah, it's gluten.
It's
it's
crap. Oh
it's in
well.
every once in a while. of an indulgence that can happen, but then I pay the price for a
Oh yeah,
couple of
but
days.
it's sometimes. Sometimes.
I don't think I would have like ever invited a dog into my space, but if you're gonna like have a dog self invite, this one is like okay, fine. She doesn't slobber anywhere. She's not jumping up at me with muddy paws. She doesn't bark at like noises outside. Actually, those were my criteria.
I'm looking at our list of viewers, and I'm always also excited that Chris Tomaso has joined us a couple of moments ago. It's also somebody I've been interacting a lot on the notes, that I feel is very resonant to kind of the vibe we've been sharing around, or that we share. So hello, Chris. Lovely to at least sort of like time-wise synchronize in digital presence.
Yeah, it's really going fun. I have this. So I have a stream scheduled for tomorrow with the Mad Redneck, who is also on Substack. That rhymes, and he's known for starting a like a co-op. Was it like a mutual aid garage for just like working on vehicles? I suppose I'm gonna ask him all about it, but he's posting about stuff like right to repair
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like yeah, this is a big topic that I feel I'm actually stoked for this interview. Like I'm so happy about this going. Yeah. So this is why I'm kind of setting up today in the space and right.
Nice. So you're inviting the viewers as well to ask us questions or give some pointers into the direction. I feel like I don't want to talk about pizza.
You
But
should.
go ahead, bon appetit.
Thank you. You have like scissors for it. Like,
uh, what?
Try the oil.
I did.
Can I try the oil?
I
It's more like, can I have the oil?
yeah. When you're done trying the oil, can I have it?
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. So we do a show tomorrow, and it's gonna. I think we're really gonna like map out what. Like we're gonna like put in our request. So it was new moon, and it's like
Mm,
putting it, and it's new moon in Pisces. Like now it's like full permission to dream, and to like dissolve all the boundaries, including in this case the boundary between public and private and everything. Because it's everything is loosening up and flowing into each other to give a sort of immediacy and heat to the present moment because everything is shifting,
mm-hmm.
and it's like the synchronicities are accelerating and everything is coming to a crunch.
And at the same time, everything is quite wide open, right? And I think that is something that Soft Rebellion Post also spoken to, that we need to free ourselves from this feeling of inevitability of that what they think, like what they want us to think that they'll achieve to manifest. Like it's like this is going to happen inevitably. The Technate and the killer robots, and we all merging with the machine and reaching singularity and transcending and whatnot and going to Mars. And
It's like
Elon Musk is
it's like the
doing a
wishful
really
thinking
good
is
job at this LARPing, and like making people believe that his wild visions on ketamine have an actual timeline for being completed, but a lot of his projects just also just like blow up, and he never delivers on the bold ideas and bold claim he makes. But
future
yeah,
fate.
it's that also like that's the thing, like they're also magicians of sorts, they also just like they're planting the seeds and the ideas, and they're just like going for it, and
And they're
like
hoping that everybody else is going to invest their libido, their energy, and their attention into making it happen for them.
yeah.
Because that's the
And
only way.
that
I mean, that's what. when you have your whole life when you're just like using other people's money to like blow up your own ego. That's the only plan you have. So we just need to have a better dream to be thinking about instead.
But
That's
not
what we
just,
do.
like dreaming and casting the spells is important. But if there's one thing I learned about magic, if it's about hacking the odds of something happening and increasing, like by magical means, increasing the odds for the outcome that we want, every fucking action we take into the real world as well towards that outcome multiplies and magnifies the odds for the spell that you cast to come true. It's not enough to dream and to speak it and to cast it. You also need to follow up with action and
Yeah.
like keep moving in that direction and keep
Right. And it's
following the signs that
yes.
then show
When the universe
themselves.
is opening doors for you in that are aligned with that action, don't hesitate.
Mm.
Don't doubt. Like be grateful. And this is like in these yeah, there is some magical thinking in this. Yes. We're gonna sorry. That's if you don't like it, okay, stay behind. You know what I mean? You don't have to.
You don't like it, baby. uh, that was a bit mean, but it does hit the spot somehow. Like,
I don't actually want people to stay behind. I'm just like here to just to let you know there are consequences. Naivety is not cheap, okay? Especially when you dress it up in science.
okay, that one is a good one. Naivety is not cheap, especially if you dress it up in science. It's just so one-dimensional way of looking at reality at the end of the day, and it puts you in a straight jacket.
Hmm. Well, what's worse, it puts you under the yoke. It gives you the blinders on and the yoke on so that you pull the wagon for them. You know.
Living Art School says, in my practice, it's almost as if the magic just prepares you to take the action required to achieve. Like what it changes is you and then the way you view the world. Yeah, absolutely. This is something I've been teaching as well in a way. It's like you hack your own system, you plant the information yourself, you show up differently, and by the act of showing differently in the world, your perception, you change your filters of perception, so the world you perceive changes, you engage differently with the world, and then it creates some ripple effect and resonance as well that changes the intersubjective reality game world experience, right? So it's like it's a choose your own adventure thing. If like you up level your character and you show up differently, then another level of the adventure appears as well.
Yeah, and the more you witness that feedback, the more you start to like count on it, and you start to like understand that this is what's going on,
Mm.
and then you really become into a multiplier. You get that's when the vortex is gonna. That's where the vortex happens, where it's a feedback. It's a feedback loop, and it's gonna launch you. If you know what you're doing, you can let it launch you, and all you have to do is just yeah, reclaim. What was it? Yeah, the means of perception. Yeah, it's very good because then you
Uh,
tease it.
Seize the means of perception is the slogan for the Pipilota.
Yes.
Seize the means of perception. Yeah, it's claim
And
your
this,
own turf. It's
and this does
claim
come
your
back
inner
to like
territory.
when I was on the journey with you, like about like finding my own trust in my own strength, like finding the trust that if I'm also on a journey, if my backbone is my mast where my sail is on, then I have to learn to trust my that I have my own back enough that when the wind wants to take me, I can let my sails fill up and let it take me.
Mm,
Like it's
mm,
the journey of life. It's like I'm not
mhm.
paddling after my life. I don't have FOMO about my life. Like the wind is taking me. Yeah. And then you have And in a way, then the idea that I would invest my fucks into undesirable worldview from somebody else because they have me on a fear hook is just like it just rips. If I would bite that hook, it would just like rip my cheek out as my ship just keeps sailing past it. Like I don't have no, I just don't. I just don't.
Yeah, no. It's a fucked up narrative to buy into. Don't, just don't. Living Art School says new way to get dopamine hits, hacking your reality. Yeah, love that. Love that. Uh, yeah, it's about getting into game mode, right? In a way, understanding that if you change the wiring of your nervous system and you create hacks in your brain, open through the windows of neuroplasticity by deliberately giving yourself little shocks that create that neuroplasticity, you can actually really change those filters. And then sometimes it's wild, right? You make a shift, you cast a spell, and you really don't expect how fast or wild the shift
Yeah.
actually happens.
It's also something about like pushing your luck. It's about learn to push your luck. Because like in this case, you have the freedom to go to England and go to this conference, and you have the freedom in time to like be a little bit flexible about how you take it. And just the fact, even if you end up just going back after, just the fact that you open up the door, just like you get a one-way ticket, you figure out how you go back. Even if you come back on schedule, you still gave it a chance. And this is like a signal to yourself, like, hey, I'm here. I'm ready to play.
Yeah, I like it. I love it. I'm gonna roll with that. Like earlier today, I was like out of the egos, like, oh no, man, you and your I can't commit, I can't commit. No, I need to buy plane tickets, and they're just getting more expensive every time. I need either a commitment or I'm gonna just like do me, and you know,
No, you need to do you. That's right. You need to do you.
yeah, I need to do you, but this is a better option still.
Yes, of course. Because then you're really committing. Like you're committing to your journey. Like food. It's like in dream work. So the reason I know this is because of dream work. It's like if I dream something and it's like a low stakes thing or I think it's a low stakes thing that I can just do. Like if I happen to be wearing blue in my dream, I can wake up and I wear blue that day. Or if I think of like, oh, um, just whatever action that seems like low stakes, easy to try and act out, something that's possible for you to act out that you saw in a dream. I usually do it just because I don't expect a result from it. It's just to inform my nervous system and my dream maker and my inner life, my psyche. Like, hey, I'm engaged with this. Like, just because I'm awake doesn't mean that I'm not invested in my dreams right now. You know.
Yeah, let's just have a moment of silence to that. uh, Oh, we have another viewer, Yvette Youssef. Hello. You're all welcome to drop us some lines or ask questions or just like give an impulse to where this conversation might evolve into as we ramble here and connect our stream of consciousness. You can also let us know like where you're tuning in from to have just a bit of an idea where this.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. But yeah, I feel like I have some like really wild dreams that just that become reality just because I have the audacity to hold on to them. Somebody doesn't like it. Hmm.
Get off life, life goes life
I know,
unstopped.
right? It is kind of dumb, but Sometimes it's dumb things that give you joy that make life possible in the first place.
Good counter. Yvette says that they're packing up the bags to come to Berlin tomorrow. So listening
Oh,
while prepping. That's nice. So maybe we can connect in Berlin. Hit me up on some messages or some notes so that we can connect.
hmm.
Leaving art school says she said the same thing on the last live I was on. Oh, a troll! Wow, also cool. Good
I love it.
Discordian
I love
tradition.
it. That
Troll
is such.
people
I appreciate it so much. Thank you, Wayback Machine, for your
for your
contribution.
trolling.
No, this is like a libidinal energy, like extraordinaire. I love this kind of BS. It's like it's great for my compost heap. Thank you. This is BS. I didn't even have to eat for that. Like I didn't have to sit down. It's like he's just bringing it. I love it.
I'm the voice of the people.
Exactly. So we are honored to have you as a guest here. I'm never blocking. I'm never blocking you. No, no, you're welcome. Thank you for coming. I
Yeah,
appreciate it a lot.
the voice of the people need to be heard if we want to onionize, no, onionize, onionize.
Oh yeah, unionized Substack. I almost forgot. That's the mission. Yeah. And for me, I have some self-serving reasons why I want that. Because I have suggestions about how streaming could be better on Substack. You're right. It's dumb now. Yes, I know it's for writing. But I have some suggestions on how it could be better as a video platform. And if you think Substack is for writing, don't complain to me. Unionize Substack and bring your proposal to keep it for writing to the union meeting. We need to make this a worker-owned co-op, and I'm just following the incentives placed by the head honchos who are just bros in charge of Substack. So if you don't want to watch me eat pizza on Substack, you think that stuff belongs on Instagram. I don't like Instagram. I like Substack, and they give me the opportunity to like eat pizza and have a monologue and then have subtitled highlights of that monologue afterward, all AI powered. Like, come on, they got me, and you're watching me and complaining about it at the same time. It's perfect. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. Mm, mm.
Well,
Extra good.
to no, like, yeah, YouTube. We want to leave YouTube as well. Like I still have a YouTube presence. I'm uploading these conversations into YouTube for now. But I'm on a mission of retreating from big tech. So no, I'm leaving Meta at the end of the month. On the 23rd, and I'm leaving at some point Google as well. So it's not an option. It's really cool that Substack gives the opportunity, and I'm gonna give an argument for that as well. So what I have experienced in this Monday musings that Captain Obvious and here have is that it sets me up for the week for my writing as well. So we riff and we discuss and we share ideas and we get inspired and then we write about it. So it's part of the process of
Mhm.
finding our voices and finding our arguments and finding our writing. And some people like it. Some people like to tune in and hear about the ideas and communicate with us.
No, I do, but I mean, I appreciate this perspective as well. But this is really a writing, like a writer's meeting. You can tell because I'm eating pizza and I'm high.
Well, we're bringing
'Cause
we're
that's why
bringing
I'm.
both.
That's clearly a brainstorm. like I don't. I want to see the. If you're like, okay, I've unsubscribed. Who is the loser eating pizza? I will unsub from him too. I don't think you were subscribed. Sorry.
Well, well. However, yeah, ciao. It's good to have been in contact for a while. If you don't like that, that's totally cool.
Mhm.
You have the freedom to go elsewhere, to not follow either me or him, and
Yeah,
that's
and my
that's
Substack
fine.
is slash
The fool of good ideas. The
Yeah, but
fool of good
if
ideas.
you're looking for the URL, it's slash at Robert Julius.
Hmm.
You can unsub me there. Hmm.
Hmm.
But please don't. I prefer if people stay around. Mm. You know
The
why?
feeble attempts of the system trying to protect itself.
Well, it's the inner system, right? It's like if you're so compelled by this, you're like, wow. But they're talking about it's like there's something juicy in our recklessness, in a way, in our irreverence for the systems. It's like it must be that. Or I mean, I imagine if I was a viewer of our conversations, I would tune in because it's like because it's reckless because we are like risk takers with the narrative. We are really like striking out on our own and not joining in this story anymore. And there's something about that that is just appealing. I hope, and it's also something it's also what I look for in others. To like remind me that another world is not just possible, but it's happening. Like it's happening all around me. And there's people to like reach out to, and I mean, it's a reach. Yeah, I know it's a reach, but that's why you come here because you want me to reach. This is I'm that's my job. I take incredible leaps of assumption based on very little to sometimes no information at all in order to create bridges to a new world that I think exists. But for the moment, if I'm listening to, how do I say it, the voice of the people, I I would be tempted, if I would listen to that, I would be tempted to imagine it does not exist. However, in my experience, it really wants to happen. My dreams are really like dreams are happening every day. And the more you believe in them, the more they happen. And the more you dare to dream, the more space you create. It's about neuroplasticity, yes. It's remain in an attitude of have risk tolerance, right? In the book. The
And it's
book.
also about play, if Substack enabled this feature for people to explore, and that's just what we're doing. We're playing with the feature. We're exploring how to use it to also amplify our voices and to build our argument and to I'm a verbal processor, for example. Um, so for me, sometimes before I can put ideas into writing, I need to talk to somebody about it. And Captain Obvious here is a person that I can talk to in a way that actually tickles my brain. And since we're collaborating on this mission, and I feel like showing up and showing face and showing the vibe as well is part of like letting people know who we are, how we think, how we vibe, and not just hiding behind heavily edited words. Um, but to show up and be seen and also interact.
Hmm. Well, the thing is, we could talk in private, but I would still record it and then post it afterwards. So it saves a lot of work, actually. You just stream it and find find our conversation happening in a public space, where people can find it. Some people find us interesting. Some people find it irritating. I love it, but I'm just happy. I know I sound sarcastic, but I'm genuinely grateful to be in this interaction because I want to learn. I want to understand what's going on with my brothers and sisters on the world, and who I'm sharing this planet with. So I know that we call this the hidden treasures because we know that there's sometimes some gold in the topics that we wrestle with, and sometimes it's really personal, sometimes it's really heartfelt. Like sometimes it really is the result of thinking. Sometimes with conversation I have here with Mariana, thinking happens that doesn't otherwise happen, and
Hmm.
insights land for me that don't otherwise land. And I hear myself saying smart things that I would never have bothered to think if it wasn't for the conversation I'm having with you right now, and that includes the conversation that we include together here on the live stream.
Yes, Yvette just says this unscripted authenticity is making all the difference. Just keep going. Thanks for the vote of confidence here.
Mhm.
I'm leaving art school. Yeah, it's a practice, and we're practicing as well. And I'm really amazed by this, like robot just like cutting, and trying to find the gold in our conversations and making shorts out of it that we can share to land a point. So yeah, it's another form of essay. There's just like live riffing stream of consciousness
It is
that
like
allows us for dig for the hidden treasure that would never emerge in a scripted conversation.
you know what that reminds me of like one great regret I have in life is that I feel like sometimes I write poems or I write articles and I publish them just to have something out there. But I know that my best writing is happening in one-on-one chats. Like for me, chat is my favorite form of literature. That's where I'm at my best. What can I say? So in a way, live stream is like scratching that itch for me because I'm also happy to observe myself in a way performing
Hmm.
because it's relaxing. Somehow I feel relaxed when I'm rather than having to like identify myself as the person I'm thinking as or something. I get to just imagine I'm in a performance and I'm just as curious what my chosen persona is gonna come up with in the next scene as everybody else, and I'm not so attached to it. And it's
Yeah,
gonna
it's it,
unlock this
it's a
this land for me.
it's a fun like experiment of like observation and dealing with the self consciousness of like I'm live and I'm being recorded and I can't edit this. It's just like everything that is coming out will be there. Well, no, like we can make cuts in the before actually posting it.
If you want, I mean, I have two answers to the Wayback Machine's latest extra contribution. One, this is tiramisu. Is that worse than pizza? And two is talking is not literature. So I studied literature, and one of the texts that we would include in the study of literature is even video games. So I really think that talking, if in this case talking packaged for presentation, like talking, like improvisation theater, is it literature? No, but it's
And what
but
about
it's
like literature
it's text.
salons? Why would literaries come together in a fucking salon, talk to each other? It's for developing ideas,
Right.
right?
Nobody's
Because
going to sit down like,
sometimes ideas are an emergent thing that happen in conversation.
yeah, nobody's coming into the bar like Foucault coming into the bar like, hey, you guys go home, right? What are you doing here? I don't want to hear this yapping. Where's your
And yeah,
text?
we tried Twitch. That sucks because it all also belongs to Bezos, and we don't want to be putting our attention into Bezos'
Yeah, I'm
empire.
not doing Twitch. I'm not doing Twitch.
So
Sounds
if you
great.
have another suggestion outside the technocratic broilerkey for us to have a riffs, yeah, that would be an interesting idea, and we might go for that. But we
I mean,
do like to
I
be
guess we could.
sharing and exploring our literary nonsense on Substack as well.
I guess we could stream Zoom calls to PeerTube, but nobody shows up for those because PeerTube is not connected to your writing accounts. In a way, the only reason people are watching us talk shit and eat pizza is because we do right, you know.
And yes, you said like we only have 8 viewers. We have 8 viewers. That's the most viewers we have had since we started this podcast.
You know
So
how many times
yay.
we've had 0? We're just one. I think it also just counts up. I don't think it counts down if somebody leaves. It could be just one person who's also here because they're like, well, 7 others are here. You're like, no, it's just you.
Okay, I don't know. Maybe some people have left, but usually people are very polite and they say like ciao when they're leaving. That's at least the experience I've been having. And I mean that's a nice thing
It's
about
only fair.
podcasts as
You're able
well.
to.
You can just like live it run and listen to people, develop ideas, share thoughts, and while you're doing your laundry folding, for example, it's nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyhow, maybe we can also wrap it up because we've been
Yeah.
at it over an hour as well, and we said
Exactly.
that we wanna
So
keep them about an hour, the transmissions.
yeah, if you're in the US tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m., like I'm gonna be streaming with the Mad Redneck, who is a legend already. This is gonna be. I'm so stoked for this conversation. As always, of course, I'm happy to do this with you. Next Monday we're here again. So for us, 7:30 p.m. like GMT +1, aka Central European time. I have no idea what that is in Yank years, but you can figure it out yourself. It's probably whatever time you have right now minus 1 hour. I love this. I love this. You're right. This is a replica. This is not. This is not Defender. I was. Uh-huh. Excellent.
Ah,
But the little Mac is real. I should write on that. It's a distraction-free writer because it's not. It doesn't work on the internet. Anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna get back to my writing. I noticed that my desk is cluttered. I am taking some of this feedback in. It's like, hey, who do you think you are to be like eating pizza on stream and think that you have something interesting to say? It's like,
on
well,
the
you're right. You're
writers
right.
platform
Clearly,
Substack.
huh?
On the writers platform Substack.
Ooh, yes.
Mm,
Well, I mean, as you can see, I have a space to write. In theory, I'll get back to it soon.
yeah.
No, I take the feedback in. I need to write more and talk shit less. It's true. It's gonna be good for
Yeah, he called you out.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
No.
So see you next week, yeah, and tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, so that's in about in a, in about 16 hours, going live again.
What's your treasure from this conversation, Captain Obvious?
Oh yeah, that giving myself permission just to be as I am and like be aware of self criticism and just like not do it. Just like drop the BS is really immediately paying off. I feel it now. I feel it already. Yeah, I feel so much better. I feel so much better. And yeah, the goal of this conversation is that like when I'm that myself is something to give.
On what?
Myself is something to give.
Yeah, fuck. Um, that one's a good one. And you can't give anything really if you don't have a self to give.
Right. And yeah, and then I also can't be nothing's gonna slow me down in that. I'm just really enjoying also like walking. Like, yeah, it's a Squire, yeah, but it's a nice guitar though. It's really fun to play. And
Mm.
yeah, there's something else in that. Like trolling is also gold. There's a gold in the trolling. It's like everybody is giving you something. Everybody's giving you a piece of themselves. Every interaction you're having, somebody's giving you a piece of themselves, and you can take that any way you like. But the most interesting way is to find it as that it's a piece of yourself.
And I think even the non-interaction, just the presence, the
Mhm.
showing up for a conversation, is giving a piece of yourself, and that's why also the like move away from meta is like not give my own fucks or the fucks I have to give to a platform that is just like sucking life out of so many people.
Yeah,
Yeah, this I think it's
you're
a good
right.
topic. It's a good topic for writing also this week. Like I'm having the Zero Fox ritual this Thursday in Berlin. Like the question, where do you invest your fox? What does it mean if you start cultivating your fox as well? Um,
Very good.
the quality of what you can give out of yourself to others when showing up authentically with your honest fox to give.
Yeah, when you drop the BS and you bring it down to the moments that matter to you, turns out that that's something. Something remains. When you drop the BS, enough remains that is worth giving.
Yeah.
And until then, you don't really have anything to give because you're just replicating the BS.
Now that was a minute where you could have just let the mic drop happen and let those words sink.
Thanks. I'll keep it. I'll consider it.
We did that a couple of times though in this episode. It's like allow a word that was like spoken out to land and sit in silence for a moment. That's good.
It's because I was eating pizza.
Because if you're not eating, you can't stop yourself like letting your verbal diarrhea. That's not diarrhea. It's like you do spit out a lot of wisdom when you're like unfiltered and somebody holds space for you to allow your mind to unravel in real time. Hopping out the pink truck ain't never have a single fuck.
Dave.
Never gave a single fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Get off the truck because it's not like if you're hopping out the truck, like that you were not behind the wheel of that truck. So it's totally fine to hop out because it doesn't seem like you not only were you not behind the wheel, you were not consulted in the destination. Yeah, so definitely you can don't feel bad for hopping off trains that you didn't book a ticket for. Ask my grandpa. Yeah,
Uh, so we have a last joiner, but that's a late join because we're just like wrapping up. So hello Philip Beeman.
nice to see you. Another 23 aficionado.
Yeah.
So you know what? In that is let's you know what? He's just in time for a little Bible thumping.
Oh, Bible thumping.
So let's end on
Yeah, yeah.
a quote. Mavis smiled at him. Well, George, had your baptism of fire? George shrugged. Well, there was the Mad Dog jail, and I've been in a few other bad scenes. For instance, there was the time I held a pistol to my head and pulled the trigger. She'd sucked his cock, he'd watched her in manic masturbation, but he was desperate to get inside her, all the way, up to the womb, riding her ovarian trolley to the wonderful land of fuck, as Henry Miller said. What the hell was so special about Mavis's cunt? Especially after that induction ceremony scene. Hell, Stella Maris seemed like a less neurotic woman. It was certainly a classic lay. After Stella Maris, who needed Mavis? Well, there you go. Did it help?
I want to share my Bible thing for this week because it's also good. I thumbed earlier about going to Breaking Convention or not, and then I got Howard sang, "The foe is attacking, their ships coming near. Now is the time to fight without fear. Now is the time to look death in the eye. Before we submit, we'll fight till we die."
Classic, yes. Exactly.
Welcome to the Recent Liberation Front. See you next week.
See you next week. And tomorrow morning.
Thank you all for tuning in.